So beginning on page 3 with praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O Supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Saviour having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the one gone to thusness I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realm. To the Dharma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the sublime community intending virtue I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage. To all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms, in all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Page 15, the Heart of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time. The Bhagawan was dwelling on Mass of Vultures Mountain in Rajagriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Bhagawan was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound perfection. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then, through the power of Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara. How should any son of the lineage train who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Sharadvatiputra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom, should look upon it like this. correctly and repeatedly beholding those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are emptiness, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no odour, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on, up to and including no mind element, and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable perfect complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as the truth since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared. Tayata gate gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisoha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Bhagavan arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage. It is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Bhagavan having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharadvati Putra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, who surrounding in their entirety along with the world of gods, humans, asuras and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Bhagavan. Page 23, offering a mandala to request the teachings. Ojin kambu agio hom vajrabhumiya hom wangchen serge sashi om vajrarekiya hom chi chagri koryogi korwe utsu rikyao kori rab shalupa polo sambuling nupalang chu chang draminyan Ludang lupa ngayab dan ngayab shem Yodang dam lang chojo Draminin dan draminin gita Rinpoche riwo pak samgishin Doja yoba mama paye lotok Korlo Rinpoche Norbo Rinpoche Sunmo Rinpoche Lompo Rinpoche Langpo Rinpoche, Tacho Rinpoche, Mapon Rinpoche, Techempoye Bumpa, Ge Ma Trengwa Ma Luma, Gama, Metogma, Dupoma, Nangsama, Chichama, Nima Dawa, Rinpoche Duk, Choglan and Pagyawe Gyalsan, Usuladang mi Paujo Punsum Sokpa Masangwa me pa Sangsheng Yidu Ongwa Didak Jinshin Sawa Dengyu pa Chepe padan lam, dam pa nam dan ke pa du yang yongi ge wei shin yen chen po ge shi jam pa ta chen ge shang ang e tek pa chen po sun shu sab mo shu e yon du shin kam bu a giu du che jo we don du she su so Shene kyang dak so dro wa nam ke ta da nyam sem chen tam che la tuk se wa chen pu ge ne jing gi lab tu so o sa shi pu ki juk chen me to cham ri ra ling chin yi de yan pa di sang ge xing du mi te o la wa ge jo kun nan da jing la chu pa shu je zhen la ma dam pa ke nam ki jo ku ka la kien se jen jigne jita sampe du che zinamala sabye juki chapa baba ju so idam guru ratna mandala kam niryatayami. Page 27.
Sanye Jana Zayi Jana Chanjo Bada Dane Yasa Tage Jujin Jive Sonam Je Dola Penje Sanje Dovarash Sanye Jana Zayi Jana Chanjo Bada Dane Yasa Tage Jujin Jive Sonam Je Dola Penje Sanje Dovarash Sanje Jana Zayi Jana Chanjo Bada Dane Jasanje Dage Jujin Jive Sanam Ki Dola Benje Nagada Zenyi Zave Dawada Je Bawa Yi Tempe Shine Tenze Ve Kodan De La Chaze Lo Donyi Nyi Je Sunde Jepe La Chi Chi Se Ga Je Tende Chana Ve Ma Tenze Jaso La So De So Shinde Lundu Sho Ban Tenze Ve La Ma Rambo Je Dage Je Uru Ve Me Di Sho Kade Jebe Kone Zane Kosan Do Je Ngoro Se De Se Chancho Simje Rambo Je Ma Je Ba Na Je 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 Wa Nye Pa Me We Kone Kone Be Wara Sho Adu Sri Uzi Hako Adu Sri Yeah, yeah. Huh? Yeah. I'm just Congress. Oh, this. Masle, ma, dinner. Oh, oh. Good morning, everyone. Good to see you again. Some people come from Dunedin, some people come from Christchurch, some people from Gordon Bay, some people come from Narsen, some people come from Chandrakirti, some people come from Tibet, and Wellington. Oh. Online, yeah. as an only beaver? Okay, and only beaver. 다 나눠도 양자 디 구숨람지 로 그에네 준다 레벨 게니 니마숨 롭종 스나다 양자 장 장야 그거로 하바디 에네 베 가부총스로
It gives me great pleasure to be able to lead this course about how to take the three ordinary states of death, intermediate existence, rebirth as a vehicle to achieve Dhammakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nimanakaya.
다디 먼저 다릭치에디 다 파이널 exam 게 다릭치고 그랬어.
So what we're actually doing is we have done so many tests in life. Now we are preparing for the final tests.
다 당분에 당원도 굴론 검식하러.
First of all, I'd like everyone to generate sound motivation.
다 굴론 가르 검자고 그러나 다 대령에 구순남제디 야고지 장제 수수 지 치림돼서 야고지 시 디셈버자마데 수수 되어요. 미망고지래야 팬도체도가 지금 대체되는 게 디링기 코스데 베지 전단된 거지 영야치도 야고진이 상무당 지기 선배 군노야고 시쇼스로
So please think to yourself. So I will learn about taking three kayas on the path, and then practice the process, and then be of a benefit to myself, and more important, to other people. And to this end, I will do my best during this course. Thank you.
다 가오금로다 말한도 저런서 상말로다 롭정 망고 치기요래 최고음장 내 치기요래 정말 다 되는 다 산제기 수수 세딜라 산제기 고마터야 되면은다 시글하고들야 수수 내세되고 치지 시도버지 쏘고요 대치데 딘데기다 롭정 딘데지 지기총어데 다른 개와 상부 배 파자 다리배 그거 야고 쉬우지라서 이제 가오 공부했어.
So next, could you please generate a great sense of joy over the fact that, generally speaking, you have had the opportunity to practice Dharma, so that if you apply yourself well, it is possible to make it to Buddhahood even in one lifetime. If not, then add Dharma practice, and at the very least, feel joyous about the fact that through this course, I will be able to prepare for my death, and so that I will be able to uh, die peacefully.
다 아니 당도 굴론 제스마체 다심 단다 말한서 지난다 쇼베 안주 상마 곰 디다 데스 상마로 하고 그랬다 뒤에 곰망 오게 되고 인자 아니 롱종세로
Yeah.
심디 단다 다다가나 데트베디 야고요레 데인디 단다 우 롱종디 우릉부지 주 당파단 데데스 장가 장가만 잡으시 데스 심디 혈lö시소라 닌디 당가 우릉지 주 당가 우릉지 파 당가 데스 곰데스 자스디.
So next, I'd like everyone to continue a form of meditation that most people do, and that is breathing meditation, so that the mind is settled. So for that, please inhale deeply and thinking to yourself, I'm inhaling, and then exhale, during which then think to yourself, I'm exhaling. When the mind is preoccupied with the two processes, then it tends to settle the mind.
다 장가정 우르 장가정 장가 직니 숨 숨제 숨제고 숨사스나나네 야심 다다 시와데 가나 데스데가.
So next, I'd like to count the cycles of the breath. in, out, 1, in, out, 2, in, out, 3, and repeat it for 3 times. And at the end of the third round of this repetition, then place the mind on the present moment.
어야 다 지난주 암전이 그래서 당아시에 딜레 고도 그랬어.
So now please listen to me, and I will start my job of talking.
따탕고 치와 낭배 슝기 치와 파르도 껴 시엔데 치와 중림데 낭배 슝기 치와 컨데스 슝기메데 직게제 시샤나스로.
So let me first of all present Buddhist what Buddhism talks about the process of death.
다 당도스레 동바점내데 당보상예니 당보초 당보카르송으로서나 덴바시 중고송으로 덴바시 송외나나 덴바시나라 덴바시나게 동에 덴부군전데바 fogden lamdien da koala jume rimbe on chene jugunjung da debudu denche koala dobe rimbe on chene lamdien da fogden shero ta dungye demba shende dinala cheju demba shire la juruk shende cheju 당볼 미다고 shegro dungye dembe cheju midago sego onzo midago res de midago res le de ne midago de la midago thomoda midago ragwa ta dana ngazo chiwa midago shede midago ragwa re midago duje tamje 게지 요도란 시리스 따도랑아서 치워 미다고 써야 돼 미다고 락버리 어디 게지 시고레스.
Let me begin by saying, soon after Buddha attained enlightenment, he gave his first sermon, and the sermon or the discourse on the Four Truths. And the Four Truths are, the first two truths are to be abandoned, and the first two truths talk about the process of coming into samsara due to respective causes. And the second two truths, truth of cessation and truth of a path, present a process whereby one can get free, freedom from samsara by way of following the path and achieving the state of permanent cessation. So talking about the first truth, truth of suffering. By the way, each of four truths has four properties or characteristics. The truth of suffering has four characteristics. Without Tonga means the first characteristic of true suffering is impermanent. So Chiwa Metapa, impermanent, characterized by death. And that is, there we are talking about cause impermanence, whereby everything that is composed of a causes and condition necessarily comes to an end.
다디네 낭바게 두다스스 메다 베나 치라모 도데와 신자 우모데 다 파진 태고데 이나 아니 치와디 세계요레 치와 세계요레데레 치와 베나 치와 파르도 께와데 세계요레 이나 디에게 치와디 세단도조 다 베나 저 로베잉이 저도즈나라 또 남시 마디 텐데인 라 주니 시기도 텐데인 라 주니 나라 아니 치와도 저 코당 그램바데 다디 로베잉이 저 나라 세버요레라 아니 간조 파지 그 온도진 두즈나라 갑 나베나라 텐데 코도 셰운디 치와도 단단 파도 단단 겨와도 단데 두스 파진다 베나레 디다 심락베도 다 심락베기 아니 치그레 파토요레 겨와게 사지 텐데로 직체 텐데 라 주니 온게 아니 코코다나 렘바데 두스ita 셰비오레스로.
So in Buddhism there are four schools of thoughts. And each school of thought again talks about death, intermediate existence, and rebirth. And so the common perfection vehicle, particularly in the writing of Vasubandhu Abhidhamma Kosha, he also presents death, intermediate existence, and rebirth in terms of how we go round the tree via the wheel of 12 dependent origination from ignorance to death. And as well as that, the same topic is also that is the 12 links are also discussed in the 5th chapter of Abhisamaya Alamkara. So common perfection vehicle does talk about that intermediate existence and rebirth in terms of mainly simrakpa, coarse mind.
다디 두즈나라 시그리 엔 파르도 두그레 라즈 메시지게 세우시오 요마레로 세우 요마르 다디네 마테 스푸타르 사마남데 류니베나라 아니 남시기 참자나 티로 남시기 링더도 그레스 남시기 균도 그레스 남시기 콤바도 그레스 당도 파바바도 남시디 마도 요지 시지 남시디 도단데고 링더기 균다 콤베 균다 딘데 도제 겨왕아지 요디 남들 류니베 나라 베 부타고 싶어 요레스로 다데 심라고 도단 시고 레스타.
So in these Buddhist treatises, they talk about beings who are composed of causes and conditions, die, they are reborn, and so on. A more exhaustive, more critical treatment of this is given in Pramanavartika 2nd chapter by Chandrakirti, where he talks about the continuity of consciousness, the continuity of phenomenon with a similar type, that is a Richter, similar type, and continuity of the force of familiarity. And there, using these principles of necessary continuation of similar type from moment to moment, Dharmakirti establishes existence of future life.
랑랑저 부구 신주 가시 제운드네 네지 가시 롱랑고 차도 가시 아니지 닝제당 자와 용야도서 자왕아마들라 콤바여여 좀지 그래서도 저리도 오마 시겨변나는 닝제 쇼도 알아.
No. Ayadeva's 400 stanza also deals with this topic of rebirth in terms of flow of familiarity experienced by the mind, and therefore as is quite obvious for many people, that children untaught at a very early age express different traits, some temperamental, others patient, others still compassionate. Why do children at such early age, untaught, innocent, seemingly innocent, express these different traits? The traits are nothing other than the flow of what they have been used to doing sometime before.
다드네마 시브르도드 nga 달라 nga 나라 게질리고 nga 시엔드 단다다 규다 낭베체 규파르드 심베 대과서가 규 다디네가라 저 단다 락 심라베도 단다 아니 참바다 닝제다 아니 돈이도 왔다 도도 아니 파르진다 두즈고 짐바 주름서가 냠 두즈고도 심라고라 sabdasadasana simragwa lobjon tendang rimbarao de phajin thekbare ro
Nos.
ade ma de zi puta ro ma shipsa ro de ane sim thamol lobjon te asana re de la ane nga glam de le ro nga de la judishi chaju ju ne jo la me ju cha judisum na la da shira kusum lam je de tabijin da sevus ke yo mare ro
Nos.
nga la me na la ane ta sebu she go da na ngo she za de sim thamo ko gi chirim do dang da do ta do zo ngano zo yo ta be jena thong yong je la ne di ta nga la me dan de ne ani she yong go resta.
So the entire Buddhist training is to refine the mind, train the mind, and it is done in two stages. In the common two stages, namely first by the common perfection vehicle, whereby the mind is trained to develop love, patience, compassion, altruism, understand emptiness, understand impermanence, so on, and the mind is trained causally to prepare for what is to come later in Tantra. Secondly, in Buddhism, the mind, the common perfection vehicle, trains the mind at the coarse level. In other words, it deals with the coarse states of the mind, and then trains the in these enlightening virtues. Secondly, in the Vajrayana, in the Vajrayana system, the mind is trained in terms of tapping into subtle capacity of the mind, subtle potential of the mind. Of Vajrayana, as you know, there are 4 tantras. The first 3 tantras do not really deal with the most subtle potential or the subtle nature of the mind. It is only dealt with by the highest Yoga Tantra or Anuttara Yoga Tantra.
다드네 당가 라메 단 de 당조 sem 당gelenge sim thara ge shen de this jabe na 제라 마 주시신야라 펜도 여러스라 당연히 롱조 romrao tik tingwe na ani de jushi di share ndi o da dirisha anzo matuya la ya campus ma sha la bendo yore
So let me lay the framework about the mind as is found in La Lame means the highest yoga tantra laws.
당조 당보 심 코랑 카레스 라빈데 심 셰바 코랑 카레스는 세시 릭바 따디 디야고도 데 진이 디 따다야고도 세시 릭바 라빈데 세시디 유디 남바야 샤르와 릭바스디 코 짐바레스 오 딜라다 셰바 라비요 레스 라비요 다 세시 릭바스.
So now we have to talk about mind. What is mind? Mind is defined as Selshing Rigpa, that which is luminous, clear, and cognizant. And so luminous gives the impression, appearance of the object clearly to it. And Rigpa means and then taking a correct registration or the cognizance of what it is. And there are lots of divisions.
sim la yewe inde chema dan chemi ane lorik tu sa simjong abjing ajing sa ro wa da dine ma nyumo dan du nam sha che inde nyumo da ne zawe nyumo sum dine ma nyumo jedi shidong ro che dan 좀 된데 추봉 jedi shidong son야 de nyumo shi 예동 년볼이야 추봉 jedi shidong song re서 제가 좀 된데 최송제 탐제 먼저 nyumo ge sim de duriya che du song ba de 제기 여러 다 근데 갑디 다 예와도 저게 셰모가시 다 셈라과당 셰바라과당 셰바 타모스 예와 디니강 셰나 다 야고 여래 다 셰 망고 투도라
나래. So now that which is luminous, clear, and cognizant, namely the mind, there are different types in Buddhist psychology called primary consciousnesses, secondary consciousnesses. Of primary consciousnesses, there are 6. Of secondary, there are 51. And then consciousnesses can be divided into valid and invalid, and so on. So with regard to delusions, which are always invalid consciousnesses, there are 6 root delusions, 20 secondary delusions, and all of which ultimately stem from 3 root poisons of the mind. And anyway, all in all, there are said to be 84,000 functions, if you like, of deluded of delusions, and to deal with this, Buddha is said to have taught 84,000 antidotes in the form of 84,000, let's say, items of Dharma. So we're not going to deal with this category. We will stick to a simpler version of talking about the mind, and that is, we will say there are 2 types of mind: coarse minds and subtle minds. Easy to remember.
Buddha 좀 된데 탑을 개어라 당고 파직당 다 망고 쉬거든 야 니래요 뭐 레로도
Buddha is quite skillful, isn't he? First he lays out and makes things sprawl, and when you think it's unmanageable, says, don't worry, simply make it simple. There are only 2.
심라고 데 당아라서 단다래 다랑아서 지도나라 emotion 시고로 대다 아니 컨트롤단 다 차도단 아제단 다 딩산데 룽도레다 anxiety disorder 다 수부단 되어 인조 릭지 요르데라 도즈릭 도즈레 다 심라고 도즈 sim rakwa do do resta.
So coarse minds are all forms of on the negative ledger, anger, jealousy, depression, and so on.
다 야가 절로 쉐베나 아니 지 닝지당 서바당 참바당 다도 짐바당야당 도저기 심 문주와디래 먼저 하고 단다 하고당 저
And on the positive ledger of the mind sheet, if you like, then there are love, compassion, patience, and so on. So the minds which are on the positive and the negative sides, I've just briefly enumerated, are coarse minds.
다 드네마 심데지 딜레 다디라고 시 딜 타와데라 다 난세기 야와 먹고 싶을래기도.
So then let's move on to briefly talk about subtle mind, and there are quite few types.
다 단다 먼저 니는 니 먼저 니 먼저 니 후로라. 먼저 니마 쿠드데 아니 미기 통야다 암저 거야다 다 콘도당 타도당 아제도 리그면도 두즈레나 니 후면도 두즈 파메버 두즈 가드데 아니 니딜레도 다 니디 마 가제 셈 타부차 자레로.
So the first type of subtle mind is the sleep itself. Sleep, when we are dozing off and falling asleep, then the coarse mind shut down, and due to which we are able to sleep. Should coarse minds be active, like anger, jealousy, and so on, were strongly active, present, it would be hard to fall asleep. And sleep is a mind. And so when we fall asleep, these coarse minds stop functioning and we go into sleep mode.
다 드네 아니 먼저 마 딜레 다 시내가 없어 가지고 먼저 시내가 미드마 시도데 다 시가라고 먼저 시가로 uk체가라고데 군도 제주세 다 제일 게질레래 군도 제주라데 다 니레양 차와 니 심들레장 군도 제주 차와 요레스다 군도 제주 코로나야 나세 그 차가 시기도.
So another type of subtle mind is the experience of 80 indicative thoughts or 80 primal instincts, or anyway 80 indicative thoughts, and 80 indicative thoughts that occur when a person is going through the dying process during the second phase of the dying dissolution of death. Then 80 indicative thoughts happen and dissolve. So these 80 indicative thoughts or 80 primal thoughts are much subtler than otherwise subtle mind of sleep.
다 드네 군도 제주 제라 디가 차네 아니 난지 토숨 제라 군도 제주 디가 차네 아니 치워베 세세야데 치웨 심 타모다 디심 타슈 데르다.
After the dissolution of the 80 indicative thoughts, as well as the dissolution of the mind of white appearance, red increase, and black near attainment, then you are confronted with the most subtle state of mind called the mind of clear light.
심 타슈 어디르다.
Of all minds, this is sim tashu, the most subtle or the subtlest.
어디 먼저 수고는 파트인데 다 시버래라고 그래.
So when this mind, the mind of clear light, quivers at the point of death, at the point of quivering, the mind has exited the body, and then the person is declared dead in Buddhist terms.
어디 다디 뚝스 domro지 롭지지래와 다디 제라다 언저 디셰 자오나 아니 말레 그랬다.
So with this, I've just laid a broad framework of what we're going to talk about.
어야 다디네 이제 다디스 sometimes 단다 언저 코베나라 심타모디 요레스로 근데 디나라 요레스 디 단다 코 니코고나 시데데 심라고게 레가 쳔나 심타모 레가 치기요 말이 심타모 레가 쳔나 심라고 레가 치기요 말이 디니다 님도래 용신기요 말이 켄으로 로왕아저지 니코드 아니 미기 통도야면도 와 디디 베차신 엘레베라고 샤샤나 먼저 암조 다다마도 고미기 다마도 니코도면도 와 니코드 디게 메워샤도 어디나신 심타모디게 심라고 레가 쳔나 심타모디 레가 치도고요 말이 심타모 레가 쳔나 심라고 레가 치도고요 말이 더 시내가라 로단디 차대요 레송들어
So now we all at the moment have our most subtle mind right at the heart level of the central channel, and it is like it's in a dormant state. And so the way the two forms of mind, the coarse mind and the subtle mind, operate is that when one operates, when one is active, the other is passive, and vice versa. That can be we can see that easily from sleep. When we sleep, then all sensory consciousnesses, we can see things, hear things, although loud music and so on may be going on. When you can't hear, and because sleep, a subtle mind is active. When a person has some trouble, then worry, anxiety, for example, are active, and these are coarse mind. When they are in operation, the sleep, a subtle mind, cannot be present. So this is how the two minds operate. When one is active, the other is passive.
어야 다디지 다도스 상당데 당저 디셰고 남바게 코코야게 자와디 단다 심타모들다 다디 유용어서 최 냠레 마신이 미지나 는 데고를 잡제 디 당어란도 디 레세고로 와 그래서 레 콤시 가르쳐 있는 딜러 도제 네 콤시 야고요나 저 제마디 콤시 야고요스 저 콤시 독자다 레 메가요나 디 요시마디 두스는 콜 다든데라 중이 코다데 코제 심타모디 코르잠니 콜 코도고 다람 낭베 람 냠네 진이지게 다 디야 탑람나 키제 디 심타모디 아니 람중오 제제 산제살이야 도고요 제가 코에게 자와당 산제게 유도야디 규칙 다디 믹스에 투무 많이 비셔래 다데
So it is this most subtle mind that we all have, all beings have, which is the subtle mind that all beings have, is the root cause of samsara, and also the root cause of a Buddhahood. In that, for people who have not had teachings, opportunity to practice, opportunity to familiarize with the positive. So what happens is when the subtle mind is active at the last stage of death, it quivers, and then it goes into the next rebirth, and it then when it's a transition to the next rebirth, will be affected by the prevailing force of a familiarity. If the mind, if the person has been a positive, virtuous kind of person, then the subtle mind will be guided by the force of positive familiarity towards a better states within samsara and okay, unfortunate states in the three lower realms within samsara. So, and then going round the wheel of 12 links, that subtle mind again will be conceived and will start going through the wheel of 12 dependent origination. And it is now for a person who has devoted their time to familiarizing with the process of awakening through teachings, meditation, then they are able to change the most subtle mind into part, into liberating, enlightening path, and therefore that mind, now conditioned by enlightening techniques of awakening the mind, then moves to Buddhahood. And it is the same mind to which unawakened beings go round and round the wheel of 12 links, and it's the same mind that the people with familiarity with the teaching, then uh, leave the wheel and the wheel of 12 links to Buddhahood.
그다음에 뒤에 건서 곰자니 가시 투담 되기도
No.
뒤에 되고다. 뒤에 뒤로 남 곰자지 뒤간 되고라.
So people who are meditators, who remain in what is called tuktam, that meditation, they seize the clear light of mind, and immediately you transform that mind into path, and then they remain in it.
하여튼 나도 투담 되고 자기 투담 되고.
So let's also do some let's also do some tea break to talk them.
야, 위스럽이야. 예조예매도다 레가리시닌데 산제신데 미제르와예 도그난다신라 주파라샤 구르레네멘데라 감니야다야미 gyādi nirida lama sanje rūjī jē tuwāshī yamarīwa jī sālaku varāshō sanje sanje rāmbōjī mājī pāna jī jī jīvā nidhā mewa kōne kōne bē varāshō jāvā dāshī shāvā dāna jī jī rāmbō jī sō jī jī sē dāshī sanje tō bē sanje chēmbō